Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Service Canada Supporting Canadians Through Life Transitions webinar. Just as a disclaimer and a reminder to our attendees, please refrain from making inappropriate comments in the Q&A, and if such comments are made, you'll be removed without warning from the platform and you'll be unable to attend the rest of the event. We're excited to have you here. We have a presentation by ESDC and Service Canada, who offer valuable information on various programs and services designed to support individuals seeking employment. So these include apprenticeship programs on the Red Seal, Job Bank Canada, the GC Jobs Portal, and many more resources, which we will discuss today. And I will turn it over now to our speakers to introduce themselves.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Tarun, and I work for Service Canada as a labor market information analyst, and I will give you a quick walkthrough of the Job Bank website. I'll pass it over to my colleague, Kareem.
Hey, good morning. I'm Kareem from Service Canada. I'll pass it over to Tarun.
Kanishk, do you want to go over?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Kanishk. I am a citizen service specialist with Service Canada. And joining me as well is Greg, who is within the same team, doing the same job, and will be helping Tarun and Kareem with the presentation today.
Okay, before you start, Kanishk, is everybody able to see my screen?
We are,
yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, the floor is yours.
Perfect. So we can just go straight into the next slide. So, like I mentioned, my name is Kanishk. I am a citizen service officer with Service Canada. My job is to liaise with the general public and give them help with informing them of the different services and programs that are offered. Before we start this presentation, we just want to acknowledge that our meeting is taking place on Algonquin territory, which is covered under the Upper Canada Treaties of 1764. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work, live, and play on this land. Now, this information is based off of the current procedures as of November 6th, so it may not be the most up-to-date information, but if you are looking for the most up-to-date information of any of the topics that we are discussing, you can always refer to the canada.ca website for all of that. Here's just a quick overview of what we will be covering in this presentation. So what is Service Canada? Topics on SIN, the Job Bank, how to apply for government jobs, apprenticeship programs, CPP for children's benefits, services for youth, specifically the My Service Canada account, and then a few other things that may be applicable in this scenario. So let's just start with defining Service Canada. Service Canada is a federal institution, part of Employment and Social Development Canada. We strive to improve the standard of living and quality of life in Canada by promoting a labor force that is highly skilled and efficient and inclusive labor market. Service Canada specifically was created in 2005 to improve the delivery of government programs and services by making access to them faster, easier, and more convenient. We are committed to improving services for all individuals by working with partners and to provide a full range of government services and benefits through over 500 sites, as you can see on the screen, across Canada. At this point in time, over 96% of the population can now access services at Service Canada locations within 50 kilometers of their home. But we are constantly expanding our footprint, making sure that everyone has access to these benefits and services. So we have made various Indigenous community outreaches, either in person or virtual, and support centers and online phone numbers, as well as websites specifically to help with those services. For anyone who is interested in learning more about what are these different benefits and services or have questions, You can always get your answers through the Canada.ca website. And if you have some more specific questions more related to your specific cases, you can request that a representative contact you by telephone within 2 business days. Or you can call the general phone number, the 1-800-O-Canada, or even visit a Service Canada Center in your area. So going into the very first topic, the social insurance number. A social insurance number is a 9-digit number that is required to work in Canada or to have access to certain government programs and benefits. It's important to remember that your SIN has been created for you and you alone, and it cannot legally be used by anyone else. The documents required to apply for a social insurance number, generally there's 2. A primary, which would be a birth certificate, permanent residency card, citizenship, or confirmation of PR, and a secondary document to confirm your identity, such as a passport, driver's license, or health card. It's important to note that a supporting document may be required if the name indicated on either your primary or secondary document is different than the name you are currently using. And we'll just pass this on to Tarun so she can explain more about the job bank.
Okay, thank you, Kanishk. I'm just going to exit our presentation because I'm going to take you to the live website here. The link that I have is www.jobbank.gc.ca, and I'll give you a quick walkthrough. So when you type that address, this is the landing page that you will basically arrive at. Mainly, the website connects you as job seekers with jobs. It helps employers find new workers, and it keeps pretty much both parties up to date of what is happening in the job market. So let's take a look at the top ribbon here. We have job search, we have career planning, and then we have the labor market information. So as job seekers, these features can be helpful for those who are either entering the job market or re-entering the job market. As many of you are thinking of your future careers, this is something that you can access and get support when you're choosing your career. We also have the hiring tool that basically supports employers with their recruitment activities. We'll do a quick search here, and I'm going to use an example of a job title called cook, and then we'll choose our location as Ottawa. Once I hit search, I'm brought to this page where a number of results are available. So in this case, we have 153 jobs as cook within the Ottawa region available right now. Now, if this number is too large, I would say you can always narrow down your search by looking into the filters on the left here. So you can make use of this interactive map, zoom in, zoom out to again choose your location. You can choose the distance from Ottawa section, or you can choose the type of jobs that you're looking for. So that could be, let's say, internships or student jobs or regular jobs. You can just click on those and again, narrow down your search. Now, you don't always need a computer to access these services. We do have a mobile app, which can offer you a little bit more flexibility in terms of navigating the website and again, searching for jobs from pretty much anywhere at any time. With this app, you can search and customize your jobs on the go. You can create alerts and get notified of new jobs. You can keep track of your favorite job postings and again, connect your job bank user account to the app itself. It is completely free and requires no registration, and it is available to download from either Google Play or Apple Store. And now a few other features that I will be referring to are the resume builder, as well as the job match feature. So I know, like I said, you are planning to enter the workforce. So when we click on the resume builder, this is a feature that can pretty much help you with preparing your resume. As you all might be aware, that a good resume can open doors to opportunities for you in the job market. So under this feature, there are 3 basic steps. You need to pick a template that suits you. You can fill that template with your personal information, and then you can customize your resume based on the jobs that you're going to be applying to. We also have the do's and don'ts of writing a good resume. It's like a checklist, which can help you, let's say, cutting down on writing, as well as adding certain skills or job duties, again, to your resume that can help highlight your resume to the employers. Like I said, another feature that we'll be referring to is the job match feature. And again, you can go under the job search to find that feature right here. What does this feature do? This basically links you to the jobs that matches your skills and experiences more closely. For this particular feature, you do need to sign up and to create your profile, because that will help you increase your visibility to employers. The next section I'm going to be referring to is the career planning section. Now, under this section, you can explore potential careers either through a field of study, and you can do that by clicking on School to Work Transition tool, as well as searching for occupations, and you can do that under the job bank feature here. So let's take a look at the School to Work Transition tool. I'm going to pick a field of study such as social services. And we'll just pick other, and I'm going to click on bachelor's degree and hit search. I'm brought to this page. Now, what does this page tells us? It basically tells us the number of people that have graduated with the social work degree, bachelor's degree, and how many of them are working within the field. So you can see 52% roughly are working in this field who have a social work background, which is a degree. The other thing that this page tells us is the salaries of social workers. It can also be used as a comparative analysis for yourself if you're deciding whether you want to choose the college route or the university side. So if you were to go to a college to obtain a diploma in social work, as you can see that the social worker's occupation is no longer available here because the minimum requirement for that is a bachelor's degree. But we do have the social and community services workers, which is another occupation. And as you can see, 42% roughly have graduated with this diploma and are working within the field. So again, it's a comparative analysis for you and to figure out which streams you want to choose. So you can either decide to go to a college or a university. The next feature that I'm going to refer to is the job profiles, and we're going to do a similar example. So I'm just going to do the social worker and in the Ottawa region. Once I hit search, it's actually bringing me to this page. As you can see, it's under the labor market information tab. So either way is fine if you want to search the job profiles through labor market information or through the career planning section, you'll arrive at the same page for the social workers. So this page basically tells us about what this occupation is all about, what the prospects look like right now, what are the education requirements, current number of available jobs for social workers, the wages that are being offered, and then competencies and skills that are needed for this occupation. We can further explore the wages section. Again, this is something for you to decide. If you were to, let's say, move within the province, you can click on Ontario and you can see what kind of prevailing wages are being offered in various regions. If you are deciding to, let's say, move different provinces, you can take a look into the prevailing wages for social workers across Canada and see, which one best suits, and if that is something which is a deciding factor for you. The last section that I'm going to take you to is the hiring section for employers. I'm not going to go too much into the details here as it may not be applicable, but employers do have access to a lot of the hiring tools where they can obtain information on hiring, managing, and training employees. They also have access to available benefits and services for their businesses, again, for them to prosper and grow. I'm going to end this session with taking you to the labor market information section here, and I'm going to talk about two things. One is the labor market news, and the other is the industry or sector profiles here. When you click on the labor market news, again, you can filter this down to the region that you are in right now, and you can gather information in terms of the jobs that are available and what's happening in the labor market around you. So you can see where jobs are created, where jobs are lost, where major investments are taking place, or even you can further explore job fairs that are taking place in your area. The next thing is the industry outlooks or the sector profile. So if you're unsure of what industry or what kind of job you are going to be choosing for your career, you can look into these industry profiles and they'll give you a broader perspective in terms of what is happening in that industry. So if somebody is thinking of going into a healthcare or a social assistance sector, they can click on this and sort of get a little background knowledge on it. So they'll give you, composition and importance of the sector in this report. You can also find the geographical distribution of employment. You can also look into the workforce characteristics, some recent history, and again, some future perspectives, which is the employment outlooks. That's pretty much it. I hope this walkthrough gives you some direction in how you can access information on various jobs or career paths. I will now pass on to my colleague Kareem, who will give you more information on how to apply for jobs with the government. Kareem, over to you.
Thanks,
And I'm
Tarun.
going to pull up the presentation for you. There you go.
Thank you. Working at ESDC, which includes Service Canada and the Labour Program, gives you the chance to help strengthen Canada's economy, society, and communities. If you want to work on leading-edge transformative service delivery, develop your professional skills, and take advantage of diverse learning opportunities, and work with people who believe diversity is one of our greatest strengths, then you found the right place. Join us today. ESDC is also one of Canada's top 100 employers. This is the fifth year our department has received this honor, and it's also one of Canada's top employers for young people and one of Canada's best diversity employers for the 7th consecutive year. The first step would be to create a Government of Canada jobs account. This can be done at jobs.gc.ca. Once you're there, you'd be taken to create your own account profile, and you'd only have to do that one time. After that, you can search for jobs. Once you'll want to focus on the jobs open to the public tab. These are our external advertised positions. Once you're there, you're able to search by jobs by many different filters, such as organization. So you can choose your favorite department or departments you're interested in, by location, job title, salary range, language requirements. And if you know the selection process number, you can find that job right away. But adding too many search criteria can limit your results. So it's best to leave some of them empty. You'll want to sign up for email alerts so that way you're always kept up to date and in the know. So sometimes jobs can only be posted for a few days or a few weeks, so you don't want to miss any opportunities. This is what a job poster would look like. So this is a common position at Service Canada in Ontario, a payment services officer position. You can see on the job poster, it's within ESDC Service Canada, within their Benefits Delivery Services branch, across many different towns and cities in Ontario. And you can see the tenure, which is either term, indeterminate, or casual. So these 3 different tenures would apply to you as an external applicant. Term is a term contract, so about 6 months to a year. Permanent or indeterminate is no defined end date, and casual positions are for 90 days or less. You can see the annual salary is $60,000 to $67,000 for full-time work. And there are further links there that will help you learn more about the organization and department, and then a short video that helps you learn more about the online application process. There's a closing date, which is the hard deadline to submit your application. And there's a further restrictions on who can apply there. So in this case, you must reside in these specific postal codes to apply for this position. And then once you're ready, you can click apply online and go to the next screen. So first you'd have to complete a notice. Once you complete the notice statement, you can see there on the right many different requirements for the job application. It's a long process, but once you complete the first one, you can save your answers because it's common that you'll run into similar questions again in the future. So you'll see you have to upload your resume. So you have to upload it as a text format, copy paste it. You can't upload a document. And then there are further screening questions in text that you'll want to answer. You can select your work locations, which is a multi-selection option. So you have the ability to choose specific towns and cities across Ontario that you'd be interested to work in. You can choose your employment tenure. So this is where you see if you're interested in casual, term, or indeterminate positions. You can pick your classification, indicate your education completion rates and your languages if you know English or French. And then at the very end, employment equity and second language writing skill tests. These two are optional and voluntary to complete, and we'll explore more about those a bit later. So some application tips. You want to be clear and specific when answering the questions. Read the questions attentively and provide complete answers. It's best to draft your responses in Word so that you can get the grammar and spell check and then copy and paste it into the online application. You want to use concrete examples and focus on your experience, the situations you faced, who you worked with and the challenges you faced, and the role you played in resolving any issues. You want to avoid highly technical language and acronyms in your answer. And you want to check your grammar and spelling before submitting. Lastly, when you're ready, you can submit the job application. And at the end here, you can self-declare if you identify as a member of an employment equity group. So this would be either Indigenous, women, persons with disabilities, or members of a visible minority. This is voluntary but encouraged and can help increase representation in the federal public service. I'll pass it back to my colleagues.
Amazing. So we'll just go over briefly some of the different loans and grants and programs that are offered for apprentices specifically. And we'll move to the next slide. So starting with the Red Seal program. So the Red Seal program represents the Canadian standard for excellence of skilled trades across Canada. And it's a standardized level of skill designed to make the base for interprovincial work in case you decide to move around or jobs are more available in a certain area versus another. So it sets a high quality common standard to assess the skills and of tradespersons across Canada. So it has become very valued by employers and widely recognized. At this point in time, there are 56 Red Seals trades that are covered within this program, and approximately 80% of apprentices are covered under those skills. A good example of what some of those trades would be mechanics, bakers, hairstylists. It's a more varied level of or varied programs than you may assume. There is an apprenticeship grant that is offered as well. So this is money that is available to you should you choose to apply. For every year or level that you have completed, you could earn up to $1,000, and the lifetime maximum is $2,000 for that. And you can also obtain another $2,000 after obtaining your certification. So a total of about $4,000 that is given should you choose to go into this type of field. To qualify for this grant, you either have to be a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident, or a protected person. You are no longer a high school student. You are currently registered in a Red Seal trade program, and you're able to show documentation proving that you are in such programs and that you are applying within the deadlines. And if you'd like more information about what those deadlines are, it would be best to double check with the website to get more information. And even for the completion of the grant, it's the exact same criteria, but you will need to show completion or the diploma as proof that it has been completed. The Canada Apprentice Loan is a separate program similar to your student loans for universities or colleges. You can earn up to $4,000 of interest-free loans per period of technical training. And this money can be used for tuition, for tools, for equipment or living expenses. It is your choice how you use that money, but it is there to help in case you need some. And it's available in all provinces and territories except for Quebec, where they do have alternative support that's available. So the government of Canada offers apprentices registered in the Red Seal Trade program up to $4,000 per period, like mentioned. You can receive this for up to 5 periods of technical training, and interest-free loans are up to 6 years as long as you are confirmed as being a registered Red Seal Trade apprenticeship program. Some other resources that are also there. So employers specifically can obtain a tax credit equal to about 10% of eligible wages payable to an apprentice. So they receive a subsidy in order to hire and promote apprentices into getting into the trades. The maximum credit is $2,000 a year for each apprentice practicing in a Red Seal program. And there's also a tools deduction. So employees who must purchase tools for their trade can deduct up to $1,000 for the cost of acquiring new tools when doing taxes. And specifically for apprentices as well, there are employment insurance benefits that they can receive while attending a technical training if they have worked enough hours to satisfy all of the eligibility requirements in order to establish their EI claim. So we'll now be stepping into some other programs that are specifically meant for the youth. It's meant to give them information about their education, training, jobs, and volunteer opportunities so that they can better franchise themselves and make themselves available to what's offered out there in the world. So some of those benefits are the children's benefit for CPP, Young Canada Works, student financial assistance, FSWAP, or the Federal Student Work Experience Program, the Explore Program, financial assistance for Indigenous students, and youth employment strategies for Indigenous. So the government of Canada can help individuals start saving earlier on for a child's sports post-secondary education. So this would be more for parents or guardians of children in order to have them ready for when they decide to go into something post-secondary. So plans like the Registered Education Savings Plan or the Canada Learning Bond are very, very good investments to start early on. And you also have the Canada Education Savings Grants, which in some cases, the government of Canada can help pay some money towards that for your child's education. The Canada Training Credit is a new refundable tax credit available for eligible tuitions and other fees paid for courses that are taken since 2020 and subsequent taxation years. And the My Service Canada account is something that is used for Service Canada specifically. This portal gives you access to your employment insurance, your CPP, any disability or old age security. It gives you access to how to apply for those benefits, how much have you currently made or you could earn should you choose to start those benefits, as well as any taxation documents you may require when doing your income taxes. Now, this is all to say, right, there are there's quite a few different ways that scams and frauds happen all across Canada, and new ones are constantly being invented. With any of this information, it's very important that we do not give it out to anyone that we do not know. Remember that you have the right to say no at any given time, so don't be afraid to say so. If you're unsure who you should be sharing your information with, do your research. See if this is someone you can actually trust. See if the phone number or the email that someone has sent you is legitimate or not. Protect your computer and your accounts with complex passwords, right? It's always a good idea to change your passwords every so often so that your information is staying safe and secure. And the next slide, please. And
Yes.
that should be it.
Yep.
Are there any questions at all with the, I think 10 or so minutes we have left with the 10 or 15 minutes left?
Okay, if there are no questions, I just want to remind that we do have a booth set up, so please feel free to check out the booth. We do have some resources available for you, including the programs and services that were discussed today that are offered by Service Canada, along with some documentation related to various occupations and top 50 occupations wages, which is from the job bank, as well as a video, which can pretty much guide you in terms of how you can go about applying for the government jobs. So please feel free to drop by.
Thanks so much. And thank you everybody for joining, and to our wonderful speakers. And we will end the session right here. Enjoy the rest of the sessions. Have a great day, everybody.